Naoto's got a lot going for her, so she's got the light and darkness element, true to her persona in the game. However, she also has an ammo gauge, as well as some ranged attack combos to her. So first of all, she has actually quite a really good combat, like close quarters ability, so you can get in really close like this. Actually, let me reset. You can get in really close with her combo, and then you can start shooting at close range, so like this. So like that's actually a pretty damn good combo. Can't really see it because the button prompts are blocking it, but she has 5 bullets that replenish over time. You can't reload manually, you have to wait for it. So the tech that I'm thinking of is basically go in for some melee, or if I'm like, if I want to get some distance, I can do this.
Sniping. Okay.
Or I could do something like this, where I lay a trap.
Sorry,
Whoops. There. Apparently this trap is invisible. I mean, I can't even see it myself. Like, I don't even know what this is. I should try it. Let me see. Put a trap here. Okay, yeah, so it's an invisible trap, and then when the enemy walks over it, it will explode. Honestly, I'm not really sure how long they last either, but I can just place as many as I want. So there's that. But the aiming is pretty interesting because you can shoot up, middle, down. And as you can see, the bullets ricochet too, so it's nice.
Okay. There.
And the last bullet, if it hits, it will always kind of have a AoE explosion, which will also proc Naoto's second unique ability, which is...
Taking aim. There you are. Okay.
That one right there. It will trigger the kind of curse effect. Well, not curse effect, but insta-kill. And eventually that bar that's below the persona cards, if that reaches 0, and I hit him with like Hamon or Mudon, it will insta-kill the enemy, which is honestly kind of busted. So the longer the fight draws on, Naoto gets more powerful really. So she's kind of busted just like she is in the base game. So that is the plan when I'm playing Naoto. Let's begin though. I practiced enough with her, so it's time to just jump into it. And then after this, it's just the P3 cast, so we're almost there. Naoto's story has to be unique too.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo.
My fingers fly across the keyboard. My last case was special. I need to complete my report before I forget an important detail. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'm a detective. The Shirogane family has been working as detectives for generations. Though I'm young and still in high school, I've been given the opportunity to take on several cases and have built up experience as a detective. My work has earned me some trust, and every so often the police will come to me for my assistance. That's where this story begins. A sudden request from the Inaba Police Department. That was about a month ago, early April. Last summer, I had received a request from the prefectural police to come to a town of Inaba. A bizarre series of murders was occurring. A corpse would turn up every morning after a foggy night. In the end, it turned out to be the most difficult case of my career. It's been about 2 weeks since that case was closed. No, from the public's viewpoint, 4 months have passed since the crimes were stopped. The culprit had been arrested and prosecuted, peace has returned, but with it comes a depressing proposition. I'm not unwilling to help the police again, but my involvement with the previous case is not something I'd like to go through again. To be completely honest, that particular case was no simple series of murders. During the course of my investigation, I obtained a supernatural power known as my persona, making me more than just a detective, but a detective that can transcend worlds. I collaborated with other persona users and became directly involved with the events of the case. Of course, if I was to tell this to the police, it would be treated as nonsense. Worst case scenario, I would be discredited. Having to leave out those details while explaining the events of the case is more than a little nerve-wracking and feels like lying. But there you have it. While on my way to the police department for this new case, I go through a list of possible questions and answers I would need. 1. Are you afraid of TVs? Something's different today though. After greeting the receptionist, I'm not led to the usual dull meeting room. Instead, I'm taken to a reception area on the top floor. A leather-trimmed sofa, a curved wooden table, a nouveau riche setting.
Looks like this may take some time.
If I was just going to be paperwork and basic questioning, they wouldn't have brought me to this special room. Is it a new case? I have to wait several minutes before someone comes to speak with me. When the door finally opens, a man wearing a suit, not fitting the uniform of a local officer, walks in.
I'm sorry about the wait.
Okay, new character? He hands me his card.
Allow me to introduce myself.
His card had a lengthy title, National Police Agency Security Bureau Security Planning Division. I'm just gonna forget that. All I know is that he's a security guy. I was shocked. They're more commonly known as the Public Safety Police. The Security Planning Division is the command center for departments that handle terrorist threats, coup d'etat plots, and foreign affairs. Okay, so they're like the CIA or the FBI. The secret police also belong to this group. Why would a person of such importance come all the way to a rural locale like this? I look him in the eye. He appears to be measuring me up.
I see you're enough on the ball that you don't need a lengthy introduction. Good.
Without any further talk, the man gets to his point.
Have you heard of the Kirijo group?
I doubt there are many who haven't.
I'll get right to the point. We'd like to hire you to perform a sub rosa investigation on them.
You need a corporation quietly investigated. Why me? I don't see what I can do that your own department cannot.
I would agree if shadows and personas weren't involved.
This time I'm unable to hide my surprise. But the man continues, either failing to see or purposefully ignoring my reaction.
One summer 12 years ago, there was an explosion at the Kirijo-owned Tatsumi Port Island, killing over 50 people.
Damn, that was 12 years ago. That's crazy. Because what, P4 happened in 2012, right? And then P3 happened in 2009. So it's been 3 years since the P3 and P4 events, or 3 years difference, which means that it was 9 years ago was Mitsuru's grandfather's event.
You would have been very young at the time.
I've reviewed that case. The official explanation was that a gas main leaked during a construction project. Afterwards, though, a bizarre rumor saw quite a bit of circulation.
The mass media noticed that there was a suspiciously large number of researchers amongst the casualties. They floated the theory that the official explanation was a lie, and that the explosion was really caused by some dubious experiment.
No concrete evidence was ever found to support those claims, though. As I recall, the matter was left unsettled. Some may still remember the incident, though I don't think many could recall the finer points.
Those rumors were all true.
His voice became firm.
What?
Those researchers under Koetsu Kirijo, the old Kirijo group manager, were working on harnessing the power of shadows. The experiment went awry, and they lost control of the shadows. That's what caused the explosion.
That's true. We learned that from P3.
Experiments using shadows. They lost control? Are you saying the shadows flooded the city? The real world?
No, because I stopped them. The protagonist, rest in peace by the way, he's dead. Well, not really dead, but he's on the moon or something, like sealing Nyx away.
I can't speak to that. There was no way of getting hard answers back then. No one took the spooky stories seriously. But that accident got the government and the police's attention, though they didn't launch an investigation until a year or two ago.
That couldn't be helped. Law can only preside over the world as we know it. Things that can't be explained can't be governed.
Only those in the Kirijo group know exactly what happened and how much of the aftermath was dealt with.
The aftermath?
That word has a bad ring to it. It brings to mind a cover-up of some dark secret.
Their cleanup efforts continued until quite recently. They were using some method known only to them, entirely behind our backs. We think they've been conducting illegal activities in the 10 years since then, while hiding behind their cleanup efforts.
And you wish for me to confirm this?
Not only do you have a relationship with us, you have a persona and extensive experience in the field. We can't think of a better candidate.
And since I'm not directly affiliated with the police, if I were to be caught in a trap, it wouldn't lead back to you.
Now imagine if this took place like maybe, what, because Persona 5 took place in 2016 if I recall correctly, right? And Akechi was doing Shido's dirty work 2 years prior to the events of P5, right? So that would have been 2014. So if this game took place 2 years after, potentially Akechi would have also maybe been hired by this man here. We don't even have his name yet, by the way, but yeah. That's kind of like a cool what if. Like imagine Naoto and Akechi working together to investigate the Kirijo. Damn, that's kind of cool. I might be writing something here.
If that's the way you want to put it.
My reply was meant to be sarcastic, but this conversation is exceptionally draining. I must applaud public safety. They know everything about anyone they choose to investigate. There's no point in trying to bargain with them. He continues explaining indifferently, as if able to sense my resignation.
Last year, in conjunction with the Kirijo group, we established an unofficial department in the force, nicknamed the Shadow Operatives.
That's pretty cool. Can I recognize who's there? Like, the silhouettes. Obviously, the one in the middle is Mitsuru. I would say the person who's like bending over to the right is Junpei because the hat. Yukari is probably the one behind him. That kind of looks like her stature. Rest in peace. Shinji isn't here either because he's dead. Can I hide the text? Kodomaru isn't here either. Akihiko could be the one in the trench coat at the front. Or just look for the naked silhouette, honestly.
It's a special unit capable of dealing with shadow-related cases.
This is news to my ears.
Shadow operatives, that's pretty cool.
That's a rather bold move. You went so far as to join forces with the ones you suspect of illicit activities?
That's exactly why we did it. We must keep a leash on them by integrating them into the system.
But the police are far behind information-wise. Officially, you are higher on the chain of command, but less so in practice.
I try throwing out a theory so I begin to get a grasp on what's taking place. The man didn't so much as flinch, but he didn't give me much of an answer either.
You'd need some leverage to keep your hold on them. Thus, this secret investigation. What exactly do you want me to do?
That will depend on your answer.
So that's their game plan. I figured as much. An organization as big as the Kirijo group is hiding the secret about shadows. Now, should I take the job or not? As a person with persona abilities, I'm naturally interested in learning how much is known about the shadows. And this job could potentially give me leverage over the government in the future. Or put you on a goddamn hit list and no-fly zone. Anyways, while I'm deep in thought, the man continues as if he can read my mind.
If you think we're hiring you to further our organization, you're mistaken.
I can't help but look at the obvious change in his tone.
Our sources say it's possible that they've been talking students from a Kirijo-owned school into doing their dirty work.
Who? Taking students from the Kirijo-owned school? Oh, right, they're talking about all the other members like Akihiko, Fuka, Ken, Junpei. Who else? Yukari. Well, Yukari was always there long before us, honestly. Kodomaru.
They've been pleading ignorance while making ordinary kids clean up whatever messes they've left. And that, we don't forgive. We're supposed to be upholding the law. We can't overlook things like this.
Oh, unless they mean they're recruiting more people from Tatsumi Port Island. Yeah, that could make sense. I mean, it's been 3 years, right? Or 6 years, actually. He's surprisingly sincere. He's staring right at me, and like before, his eyes are strong and bold. He truly doesn't want anyone innocent to suffer. Of course, this could be an act to convince me, but even then, I do agree with that opinion. All that remains is to find out Kirijo's intentions.
All right. In that case, I accept. Though I don't plan on abandoning my school life here. I'll do what I can to help, but only within those limits.
I would never have dictated conditions like this before. The reason I have come to this town and transferred to Yasogami High was for my investigation. But the school life and the dear friends that I've gained have become irreplaceable to me. It may sound childish to demand that I stay with my friends, but if they refuse to budge in that regard, that's that. However,
that's fine with us.
He accepts my condition almost too easily. He then immediately begins to explain the details of the case. Yeah, it's like, what? If you want me to investigate the Kirijo group, why aren't you sending me off to Tatsumi Port Island? Which would be cool, honestly. Like, imagine Naoto meeting the P3 cast and being like, hey, yeah, I'm chilling with you guys now.
At the end of this month, the Kirijo group is airlifting some special cargo. Kirijo has asked our help in making sure the cargo is transported safely. We'd like you to accompany them as a police observer.
What do they mean, transported safely?
A police escort, assurance of no public investigation if any unforeseen situation were to arise, things like that. Of course, if anything does happen, we will hold them responsible.
And what is this special cargo?
It's something to do with the shadow research. They've admitted that much, but we don't know the exact details.
Oh, I get it. This is the plane that was hijacked and Naoto was part of it. And the special package was Labrys, obviously. I see. Okay, I'm piecing it together now.
According to our research, it's most likely something from the old ergonomics research laboratory, classified as risk level 4.
All we gotta find out now is who hijacked the plane. Was it a group or a person?
In other words, even though it's sealed up tight, it's extremely dangerous.
They even have a risk scale for things like this. Seems the Kirijo research goes into a variety of different things.
Also,
as I'm thinking, the man slides a photograph to me. It's a beautiful young lady. Her eyes show a strong will as striking as her blazing red hair. The hair reminds me of something. I may have seen her picture while going through the documents regarding the Port Island incident. Of course, the girl in these pictures was much younger.
this woman will be on that flight. Her name is Mitsuru Kirijo.
Kirijo.
She's the oldest daughter of the Kirijo family, Koetsu Kirijo's granddaughter. It was he who devised the experiments 12 years ago. You should know that she's also a powerful persona user.
A persona user besides us. I was suspecting something like this, but to hear it out loud is still shocking. So there are persona users other than those involved in the case last year.
We believe she took the lead in gathering students 3 years ago, when she was still in high school.
I mean, why are you surprised, Naoto, okay? We had fucking Adachi, alright, who had that literal mirror copy of, by the way, Magatsu Izanagi, coolest persona, period. So, I mean, it's not really a surprise.
We'd like you to first go to her residence and meet with her.
All right.
I'm sure you figured out by now, since she's a high-ranking Kirijo group official and a persona user, but she's a shadow operative. She's member number 1, the general manager. And not because she's a Kirijo, but because she has the abilities to back it up. Can you do this? If she's dirty, then this won't be easy for you.
I already accepted your assignment, so I must simply make the best of it.
I offer my hand. He has the firm grip of someone who's worked on the front lines of the law. Okay, interesting. A few days later, I receive a message informing me that the transport is to be on the 1st of May. It's on a school day, but since I've taken the job, there's nothing I can do about it. In fact, I should be glad that this didn't overlap with the extended holiday. I haven't heard the details, but I expect to have some important arrangements during Golden Week. Arrangements to reunite with my upperclassman, Yu Narukami, who was the leader of our group during last year's incident. I keep thinking about our reunion. It's only been 2 weeks since he left, but it feels much longer. Reunion cloud. I don't know why I just saw the cloud and I was like, oh, it's Sephiroth. I suppose that goes to show how much I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going off track. I need to think about the new job, so I hastily pull myself together. Nice. Now we get context about the plane hijacking. Damn, I need a setup like this in my... on my plane, or is this the car? May 1st. The cargo is due to be transported from a laboratory near the Kirijo mansion. I make my way to the mansion to present myself and end up accompanying the security detail. The limousine is incredibly long. Apparently it isn't all that rare for the upper class in all countries to ride in cars this large, but it's downright comical on the tiny roads of Japan. That was where I met Mitsuru Kirijo in person.
Nice to meet you. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'll be acting as an observer today.
I've been told about you. It's nice meeting you as well. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo.
Her beauty is enough to attract anyone's attention. She was so much less imposing than in the picture.
I didn't expect the police's observer to be so young.
Does that bother you?
No. I didn't mean to downplay your abilities. Forgive me.
I take a look at Kirijo-san's face. She's the only daughter of the founding family, but it's been 2 years since she renounced the practice of the Kirijo group being run by the family. In other words, she's simply the CEO's daughter now, not the heir to the company. Oh yeah, because I think after we did her social link, right? She said that, right? She split with her fiance and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna follow my own path, right? I remember that. God, it's been a while. She must be used to getting constantly stressed being a female leader at such a young age. Getting people to acknowledge her must have been a struggle. I don't need to mince my words in dealing with types like her. I decided to cut to the chase.
Tell me, What are the contents of your cargo?
I'm ashamed to have to admit this, but since the original researchers have passed away, we don't know what's in it either. We can't allow the worst-case scenario for such an item to come to pass in the middle of a city.
What? How do you not know? Just open the container.
That's why we plan to transfer these items to a distant facility according to their indicated risk level.
A natural decision. Her posture, actions. If that was all an act, I must commend her ability to deal with the unexpected. But personally, my impression is that she's a trustworthy person. Before leaving, I had a chance to see the Kirijo mansion. I have to say, it's surprisingly simple. It felt as though it was prioritizing function and efficiency over meaningless luxury. Perhaps a reflection of her own personality. At any rate, her intelligence and presence are proof enough of her upbringing. If she was hiding something, it would be hard to figure out.
Then I'll stay near the cargo along with the police escort. I'll contact you immediately if anything happens.
Yeah, imagine if Naoto runs into Junpei, she's gonna be like, oh great. He's just like Yosuke.
All right. If anything is unclear to you, feel free to ask me.
Her eyes look straight at me and I feel like she could see through anything. I end our conversation shortly, after and quietly wait for us to arrive. Sure thing. Save over Chie. Japan Air Network, JAN. The limousine transport truck and multiple security cars reached the airport without any incident. The cargo may be dangerous, but according to the records, it was kept safely in storage for the past 10 years. Plus, it is worthless to the average person. Because of this, the people involved in the security don't look tense. Kirijo-san hands her servants her travel bag. It's almost as if she's simply going on vacation.
Yakushima. Huh.
Oh, wow. That's a callback. The plane's destination is one of the southern islands. Oh, right. Because that's where they have one of their labs. That's why we went there on vacation, too. I'm sure it'd be fun to go with everyone. Now, that's where we met Igus, too. I realize what I'm thinking and have to laugh to myself. A year ago, I never would have considered it that it would be fun to spend time with others. But I can't help but think that way now. Soon they'll be moving the cargo out of the trunk. I clear my mind of daydreams and look back at the truck. They pass through the gate for large cargo shipments, and the shipment is in an imposing metal case among the other shipment containers, but it doesn't attract much attention from the airport staff. It's not long before the case is unloaded from the truck. Oh, it has her name on it, 005 Labrys. Huh, okay. It's obviously different from the rest. It's covered in what seems to be heavy industrial grade steel, about 1 meter wide and broad and 2.5 meters tall. Seems like something very special is in there, but even if someone was targeting the shipment, it would be impossible to steal that. 4 men in suits slowly tip the case sideways to place it on the cart. Seeing it on side reminds me of something. Looks like a coffin. The moment I realize that, a shiver runs down my spine. It does look big enough for a person to lie down in. Could there really be someone inside? Could it be that this tight security is not to prevent theft, but to keep the cargo from escaping? Now, how can I imagine things like this without any proof? I shake my head to clear it of any pointless thoughts. Am I just shaking because I heard this had something to do with shadows? Eventually, the check-in process is complete, and the announcements to begin boarding echoes throughout the airport. I relax a little, relieved that nothing had happened up to this point. Once the plane takes off, the only thing in our way is the sky. I'd put on an earpiece tuned to the police radio to keep up with the current situation. So far, nothing was out of the ordinary. Kirijo-san's group finished checking in and had boarded the plane. The cargo should be loaded soon. After I supervise that, I check in and... Suddenly an urgent voice jumps onto the broadcast.
The aircraft squawk code has changed to 7500.
7,500.
I have trouble mentally shifting gears after the long period of inactivity. I never imagined I would hear that number with my own ears.
7,500? A hijacking?
Is the plane I'm investigating being hijacked? That can't be a coincidence. Could this have been set up by the police or the Kirijo group? No, there's no benefit of either of them getting involved with the general public. So if that's the case...
Is it the cargo they want?
There really is someone after the cargo. Wait, if they're after the cargo, why hijack the plane? They're not trying to steal the cargo. Could they be after Kirijo-san? No, that doesn't feel right. Hijacking isn't an effective method to carry out a kidnapping or an assassination. If they had the time and the resolve to pull this off, they would be far better off taking over the plane mid-flight. figure out their objective. Why would they do something that attracts so much attention? Attention. This is a very peculiar time to attempt a takeover on the plane. Very peculiar indeed. Hijacking before departure forfeits the biggest benefits of hijacking, but at the same time, all normal airport operations will come to a halt while everyone turns their focus on the plane in question. Ah, the airport will naturally stop loading baggage onto the plane while this hijacking goes on. It's the perfect distraction. So they are after the cargo.
If that was the case, the hijacking is only a decoy. But would they really risk their lives hijacking a plane over one piece of cargo?
As I think, I scan the area from my viewpoint up in the boarding area. I see a van that has been parked after the cargo area suddenly peel out.
Huh?
A suspicious departure at this time. I have a bad feeling about this. The cargo was just unloaded right in front of my eyes. I didn't see anyone steal it. Hold on. The 4 men in suits with the handcart. I don't see them. Lost track of them in the rush of activity after the hijack call. I grind my teeth and interrupt the radio call.
This is 002, over. A suspicious vehicle is leaving the scene. Stay in pursuit. It's a large vehicle, about 2 tons. License plate
1J7462. I hear someone confirming with Roger, but there's shouting and confusion going on in the background. I'm unsure if my intentions have been understood. I run across the airport by myself. I need to grab hold of these people's tail, even if only to get a few hairs. Of course, there's no way that I can catch a vehicle on foot, but I have a plan. I run down the escalator and bolt for the passenger pickup area at the arrival's lobby. I look around outside and there it is, just as I thought. A suspicious vehicle was coming this way. The airport's road layout is a loop. After leaving the departure lobby, cars must take a turn and curve back around to the arrival lobby before being able to reach the surface streets. I hide in the crowds and wait for the van to get close. And as it passes by, I throw a small sticky lump. Luckily for me, it strikes and sticks low on the van's side. There's a compact transmitter in there. You'd have to be pretty close to pick up a signal, but it's better than nothing. I take my hat off and wipe my forehead. Pedestrians around me begin to stir. Everyone stops and stares at their smartphones. I didn't need to look, I knew. The first news of the hijacking is hitting the media. I put my hat back on and pull the rim low. I'll have to be careful not to let all the information flying around confuse me. I keep my guard up as I quickly walk back to the departure lobby. Good throw, Naoto. Another 45 minutes pass without any more clear info coming through. There's chaos on the radio and people are in panic. But after an hour, the confusion suddenly stops and a shocking report comes in.
All personnel on scene. The suspects have been apprehended. The hijacking is over. I repeat.
They dealt with it so soon?
Though some passengers were ill, there were no casualties. As far as I know, the hijackers didn't even make any demands. It's hard to think that the police could have negotiated with them. But on the other hand, there's no indication that the special assault team had stormed the plane. Did the group surrender now that their decoy objective was complete?
What's going on here?
Just then, a radio call came in directly for me.
Operator to 002, over. The hijacking has been dealt with, but the transfer must be cancelled. The whereabouts of one piece of cargo cannot be confirmed. All indications are that it has been stolen.
Then that vehicle earlier. Are you still in pursuit?
We're tracking it through the end system. Head to the guest room immediately so we can discuss our response.
Looks like my call to report the suspicious van has not been a mistake.
Understood.
Damn, they really let 4 guys just steal it. Soon after, the involved parties were gathered in the conference room. Kirijo-san and the police were talking hurriedly. A good number of this quickly put together team are not aware of the confidential nature of this matter. I imagine things won't be proceeding so smoothly. At any rate, the van on the run can be tracked through the end system. The hijackers were handed over to the airport police, while those of us who knew the truth about the cargo were moved to one of her buildings.
That was a very tidy operation. I had thought it would take at least half a day.
To put it delicately, we had someone with special abilities handling this. Then again, though we prevented any harm from coming to the hostages, we lost the cargo.
Nothing for it, I suppose. Who would have expected an entire hijacking to cover up the theft of some cargo? I must apologize to you as well. I was the closest at hand when it happened.
No, you did more than enough. It's thanks to your sharp eyes that we're able to track the suspicious vehicle now. I'm impressed that you realized in all the chaos that the cargo was the true target. You even spotted their getaway truck.
Thank you. Our next step should be to interrogate the suspects in custody and...
Sadly, it won't be that simple. I haven't heard much yet. but it seems they're having unexpected difficulties with the interrogation. It will take some time.
If they were prepared to risk their lives for this operation, I suppose they won't break so easily.
We made an error in judgment. We were too focused on preventing the item itself from doing any damage.
But since they targeted something so unusual, that should narrow down the suspect pool.
I can't deny it's possible that someone connected to the Kirijo group is behind this. Thank you for your assistance, Shirogane. I'm sorry to have involved you in this mess, but the professionals will take it from here.
Professionals? In other words, she plans to investigate this herself as a shadow operative.
Does that mean my work here is done?
I'm afraid so. We do value your cooperation.
Just like grab Mitsuru's hand and be like, yo, I'm a Persona user too. This is a bit of a pickle. The Kirijo group and the police want to have this kept under wraps. That is, they cannot open a public investigation. On top of that, the shadow operatives are technically an organization working for the police, so there's no room for freelancers here. Which means there's no need for me to be involved in the investigation any further. Insisting to stay on this case would only draw attention. With no other choice, I decided to take my leave. Alright, well that explains the hijacking. Must have been chaos at the office despite the unusual events. The man who hired me has not yet gotten in touch. I entertained the thought of returning home to Inaba, but luckily enough I brought enough luggage for a short trip out of town. I decided to stay the night at a business hotel near the airport and wait for a while for my client to contact me. Time passes. At 9 o'clock I finally receive a phone call from that man.
Things have taken an unexpected turn. This case is under the jurisdiction of the shadow operatives now.
That will make it very difficult to continue my secret investigation.
But right now you're the only one we have who's gotten that close. We heard you earned Kirijo's trust after the hijacking. We'd like you to keep up your investigation. We're currently making arrangements for you to pick it up again in a natural way.
What are you gonna have me do? I will not act as a spy.
I'll be in touch later.
Naoto does not want to be a spy. He hangs up without waiting for my reply. I feel a weight in my heart. That's a high possibility of turning into a private investigation from the shadows. Pretty much a polite way of saying corporate espionage. If I'm to take on this job, I need to have some sort of plan. At any rate, I cannot plan my movements without knowing how the situation is progressing. It would be far better to prepare for tomorrow instead of getting worked up with worry. I read the newspaper and watched some of the TV coverage of today's events, then go to bed early. Wow. Now, I actually like this. It's kind of giving exposition to before she got into the TV. Because so far all the stories have been inside the TV. This is like the exposition that led up to Labrys getting into the TV somehow. A day passes and even by the night of May 2nd, the man has not contacted me again. Seems the police are having trouble zeroing in on the suspicious vehicle. Considering the skill with which the crime was pulled off, I wouldn't be surprised if that van has been dumped somewhere and the cargo loaded onto another vehicle. Going through all the possibilities is just like a way to kill time. Okay, so a day passes. But it's the only thing I had to do. Nothing happened until the sky began to darken as the sun went down. The phone finally rang. But surprisingly, the name of the screen brought a smile to my face.
Yes, Shirogane speaking.
Hi, Naoto-kun? Oh, I'm not interrupting your work, am I?
No, it's quite alright.
Sorry to call so late. I wanted to at least give it one more shot about tomorrow.
It's GA. That's right, so much has been happening that I completely forgot the school holidays start tomorrow. And of course, we're supposed to have a reunion with Yu-senpai when he visits from the city tomorrow. I was supposed to be able to meet up with them. I didn't imagine that I'd be stuck here for 3 days thanks to the attempted hijacking at the airport. But since I've undertaken the job, I have obligations that I can't just abandon. I'm starting to actually feel some anger towards whoever the culprits are.
I'm sorry, but it seems I still won't be able to make it. I'm actually not in Inaba at the moment, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Oh, then I guess you can't check even if it rains.
Even if it rains?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself.
Oh yeah, because canonically they thought that it only happens in Inaba because it's an urban legend.
It's okay, Naoto-kun. I know there are people who'll be in trouble without you. You need to stay there and help them out.
Yes, well...
Help them out, huh? It irritates me to know that what I'm going to do is pretty much spy work.
It really is a shame. Give my regards to Senpai and the others, won't you?
Will do. Good luck with the job.
I hang up the phone. Seeing my dear senpai again, I feel that's much more important than a job with an uncertain outcome. And I feel a little sad that I'm going to miss it. Maybe I should just turn the case down and make a surprise visit tomorrow.
I wonder if any train would make it in time.
But it looks like the case is not about to let me leave. After my talk with Chie, I began to prepare for bed. And that's when the public safety official called me again.
It seems we may be back on for the secret investigation. Mitsuru Kirijo just requested our cooperation. We agreed. A detective by the name of Kurosawa will be heading out tomorrow. We want you to accompany him to the rendezvous point.
Kurosawa, okay, that's a new name. When I asked about this Kurosawa fellow, I received an unanticipated answer. Apparently he had helped Kirijo-san's activities on his own while he was a constable. Oh right, how could I forget? Kurosawa, he's the police officer at the Polonia Mall. Yeah, the guy's like, yeah, I know you guys are like fighting shadows and shit, so take this military grade gun. God, he was such a bro though. Even though his superiors didn't understand what Kirijo was up to, he followed his own instincts and helped her protect the town. Normally he would be punished for this, but the situation took a 180-degree turn thanks to the establishment of the shadow operatives. His knowledge has been invaluable, and rather than being disciplined, he was promoted to plainclothes detective.
Kurosawa is willing to leak you whatever info he learns about the Kirijo group through his cooperation with them.
I'm surprised he agreed to that. Hasn't he assisted Kirijo-san and her group in the past?
Yeah, what the hell? Is he a snake now?
I'm afraid that's something you'll have to ask him about, although he seems to have his own agenda.
I confirmed several other details before ending the call. Detective Kurosawa. If he's working with the Kirijo group, it could be something of a problem. But if they have info to leak, that means they must have located the vehicle in question. Still, considering how long it took them to find it, it may be in for a long trip. Where am I going to be sent now? I shrug. I'll head to bed, Naoto. Interesting. So I guess at this point, because it's the next day, right? This means that everyone saw the ridiculous Grand Prix tournament cutscene. So that means that Kanji's already in there, Risei's already in there, obviously, and maybe at this moment or a couple hours from now, you and the rest are going to be heading in. It's pretty cool. We're timing we got the timeline now almost. May 3rd. I meet with Detective Kurosawa. I expected someone who looked shadier, but the man appeared hardworking and honest.
I'm Kurosawa.
I'm Naoto Shiragane. Thank you for your assistance.
I've heard rumors about you, Ace Detective. Let's get going.
What? No portrait? We make our greeting but brief, and I get into Detective Kurosawa's car. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he still looks the same. A private investigation in a location that I have no prior knowledge of or experience of. This was a depressing job in the first place, and the addition of more and more unknown variables is only making me more displeased with it.
You seem pretty listless.
Oh no, I'm fine. Where are we headed, by the way?
The place where they found the getaway car from the hijacking. A town called Inaba. It's a small place with an odd history. They just had a bizarre serial murder case there last year.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Inaba.
I can't stop the surprise from showing in my voice.
That's your hometown, right? Isn't that why they're sending you?
I'm at a loss for words, but Detective Kurosawa continues instead of waiting for me to reply.
The request I got from the shadow operatives was to assist in gathering information about those murders. They want me to meet with a supervising detective of that case and ask him for the full story.
I see. Oh, I get it. Okay, so basically that copper guy sold Naoto as being a detective that's not from Inaba. Well, he sold her to Kirijo, to Mitsuru, that this detective, why don't you send this detective to Inaba? But then he told Kurosawa a different story, that Naoto is indeed from Inaba and that she can help him with his investigation, whatever Kurosawa here wants, because he wants something a bit different from Mitsuru's group. Okay. I get you, game.
Not only are they part of public safety, they're an unofficial unit. They can't come to the district police for information.
Right. And the person that he wants to meet, Kurosawa, is none other than most likely Dojima.
Why him?
Uncle Dojima.
Is his case related to the robbery in some way?
Public safety is sharper than you might think. They do basic reviews on all cases to see if shadows were involved. Inaba is on their watch list now. And with that cargo being brought there, they naturally suspect a connection between the cases.
If there is a connection, then it might be related to our case. I believe to have ominous thoughts and my expression darkens. But Detective Kurosawa doesn't probe into the topic. Perhaps he's the type of person who doesn't judge people based on evidence, but gets a feel for them through conversation and action. How am I reflected in his eyes? Can't help but wonder. Interesting. Why are there a bunch of thrown out TVs here? I don't remember this. Detective Kurosawa goes inside the Inaba police station while I wait in the car near the junkyard. The familiar sights of Inaba seem strange somehow. The detective in charge of this case must be none other than Dojima-san. Detective Ryotaro Dojima. Of course, I am familiar with him. Not just through our profession. Dojima-san acted as Yu Senpai's guardian while he stayed in Inaba. I feel like I'm betraying him as well, and can't stop myself from sighing again. Soon enough, Detective Kurosawa steps out of the station. He was coming back, but halfway to the car he turns and walks into the junkyard. I wonder what he's doing. I stick my head out the window and try to track him. There's another car parked behind a pile of junk. The distinctive grill style. That's Kirijo-san's limousine. I hurriedly pull my head back into the car. That's right, Detective Kurosawa came here to cooperate with Kirijo-san. But still, to bring me along and park so close to her is... And again, it's very unnatural to park far from a rendezvous point. Detective Kurosawa made the right decision. I calm down and slide into the rear seat, keeping my head low. Still, Kirijo uses that black limousine while undertaking her shadow operatives duties as well. That car sticks out like a sore thumb here in Inaba. Heck, it's distinctive anywhere in Japan. Why would someone as clever as Kirijo take that car on a special mission like this? Does she have some profound reason behind it? It's probably because it's like her bike, you know, like the bike that she always bring into the dark hour, right? It has all her gear and stuff, right? So most likely the limousine simply has all those gear and equipment too. After a while, Detective Kurosawa finally comes back to the car.
Kurosawa-san, may I ask you something? Why are you working with public safety?
You're asking that now? I thought that would be your very first question.
After wiping a dry smile from his face, Detective Kurosawa turns to me with an incredibly serious expression.
You can spy on Mitsuru Kirijo and her shadow operatives to your heart's content and never find anything suspicious. But for that to be understood, at some point or another, everything she does has to be investigated to eliminate those doubts. In which case, it's better someone like you do the investigating than someone official who will never understand. That's all there is to it.
I see. He's basically trying to kind of open up like the shadow secret to public knowledge to an extent without kind of being an official pressure force or officially pressuring Mitsuru and the group to reveal that, because Naoto is more relatable and she's younger too, right? Whereas Kurosawa's he's an old dude. So he does have his reasons after all.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I'll leave the rest in your hands.
I exit the vehicle. Kurosawa takes his car onto the highway and speeds out of sight. He has no doubts whatsoever regarding Kirijo-san's activities. To be honest, I'm inclined to agree with them, but I can't jump to conclusions without any evidence. Well, I can. I do it all the time. I use heaps of junk as cover to sneak close to the limousine and watch. Not long after, I see two people exit the vehicle. One of them is Kirijo-san. However, unlike when I saw her at the airport, she's wearing equipment likely suited for combat. The other person looks strange.
Is that the fabled humanoid weapon?
There was information about a humanoid weapon mixed in with all this data I had heard about the Kirijo group when I first saw it. I was confused. But that had to be what was standing in front of me. It seems natural, almost lifelike, but there's no denying that it's an artificial construct. It seems that the rumors of an unorthodox anti-shadow unit were true. Another man comes to join them soon. Why is he not even wearing a shirt in the real world? Akihiko, what? He too was dressed in outlandish attire. He was shirtless and wore a red cloak like a desert nomad. That's probably the best description I've seen of him, honestly, given that Chie's seen him, Teddy's seen him. Yeah. The perfect example of someone who ought to be detained for questioning. Based. I compared his face to the list of pictures of the people involved in the situation. With his taste in clothing has changed, I believe that this man is Akihiko Sanada. Oh wow. Can't imagine what would possess him to go about dressed like that, but I speculate about their actions. What business do they have here in a junkyard? There's nothing here but a pile of broken household electronics and abandoned televisions. Then it hits me. Detective Kurosawa had told Kirijo-san about last year's incident, and of course she had prior knowledge of personas and shadows. Then no doubt she heard the idea of entering the TV world. After all, it appears many times in the testimony of the killer from last year. Oh, Adachi, rest in peace. Dojima-san may have disregarded it for being too far-fetched, but Detective Kurosawa must have caught on. If I take a closer look, there's a mountain of old television sets. Victims of last year's switch to digital broadcast.
They're not planning to enter a TV from here, are they?
Well, even as I say that, the mechanical girl already has her hand sticking into a TV screen. It's exactly as I thought. The mere fact that they are testing what they heard so recently can't bode well. Uncertainty crosses my mind. The three of them are clearly preparing to enter the television. Should I blow my cover and warn them about what they're doing? If they enter, they may not be able to leave. But the other world should no longer be dangerous anymore. And I heard from Yosuke-senpai that he'd asked Teddy to leave and exit the TV and to have the exit TV out just in case. If they're persona users, they should be able to handle the shadows. They shouldn't be in any peril, but Kirijo-san made a decision faster than I could. Naoto, you should have stopped them. Then you could have explained to them what's going on here.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Ready!
God, I'm getting dizzy looking at that. Let's stop. Okay, so they went in. The others are waiting in the car. So what? Junpei, Yukari, Ken, Kodomaru.
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
What do you mean, why, Naoto? It's obvious. I stand there blankly. No, Naoto didn't play the other stories like I did, though, of course.
Is the stolen cargo inside the TV?
Should I chase after them? If I turn back here, we may never be able to find the three of them again. If that happens, the truth about the case will be lost forever. If her property was placed inside the TV world, it means that whoever stole it knows the truth about last year's events. And if that's the case, then I can't ignore this no matter what my assigned task is. Plus,
Well, if they're determined to enter the TV despite not knowing the risks, I can hardly allow cowardice to prevent me from following.
I realize that the straw breaking the camel's back is not logic but my pride. I smile to myself, but my mind was made up. I stand up, look around, and then step inside the same television they used. Different cutscene? Oh. Bookmark though. Holy shit, that was a long scene. Damn, that was a long scene. That's a 50-minute scene right there. It's been a while since I've seen this falling sensation. But this time the sensation seems to continue longer than it did when I would enter a TV as part of the investigation team. Out at the front, before I know it, the falling has ended. I take cover behind a pillar and look around for the three shadow operatives. Did I lose them? We all entered from the same television, so we should have arrived in the same place. I relax a little and take a look around. When I stand up, I notice it, but it's difficult to believe. I take a good hard look. This is a school. And not only that, but
Yasogami High School? What's going on?
this is the gate to the school I attend. The familiar school building is inside, but there is something unfamiliar out in front. There's a stack of strange monitors. They're all displaying the words P1 Grand Prix. This place looks like the real world, but there's something warped about it. It feels like the world is dangerous again, like it was while we were investigating the incident. The world has returned to the way it was before. While I'm thinking, the students come walking out of the building. They gather together and soon the area is filled with people.
Impossible. How could there be this many people in the TV world?
Suddenly, the students surround me and start cheering. I see an all too familiar burst of static play across the monitors. Rivals, they are. Yeah, okay.
What?
Of course they had to play it again. Killjoy Detective. The shock leaves me dumbfounded for a while. Plus, Yu Senpai's sister Complex Kingpin? Well, it's true that... No, calm down, Naoto. Calm down and analyze the situation. This otherworldly program where real people for foibles? All exaggerated to unworldly proportions. The static before the video made it very clear. This broadcast could only be the Midnight Channel. What was this fighting tournament about? The members of the investigation team are the
It
combatants.
seemed that Teddy was acting as the host for this.
All of us know that Senpai is coming back to Inaba during Golden Week. Then could this be some kind of way to welcome him back? No. Calling him a sister Complex Kingpin, that's not a welcome, that's a challenge. Who would publicly give a negative nickname like that? Besides, whatever the reason, I can't imagine that someone would seriously want us to fight each other. What is going on? Does it mean that the rest of them are in the TV world as well? Without warning, the sound of the microphone feed pierces my ears.
Hello, boys and girls of Yasogami! Sorry for the wait!
That voice. That's Rise-san.
The students go wild. On the monitor, Teddy appears to be wearing some sort of costume.
I'm proud to announce the commencement of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Looks like Rise and Teddy are the ones running it. They really plan on holding this P1 Grand Prix?
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the challenger in our first battle.
If that promotional video is correct, then are the members of the investigation team going to show up? Just as I lean forward to see what's going on, a spotlight shines directly into my face, blinding me.
Naoto Shirogane!
What?
The students around me raise their fists in the air and shout, "Naoto! Naoto!" Seems that I won't be able to chase Kirijo-san down at this rate. There's the plane hijacking and now another unforeseen interruption.
Come on down now, Chan!
Teddy? What is the meaning of this?
Didn't you watch the intro video? It's a fighting tournament!
And
I
you're in the
gathered as
game.
much, but I was asking why you would do such a thing. Pitting friend against friend in battle is going too far for a joke.
It's not a joke, though. I'm giving this 100%, just like I always do. Now get out there now, Chan. Show me everything you've got.
You're not making any sense. Besides, there's...
When I'm speaking, I see the area in front of me twist. I close my eyes at once. When I open them, I see only certain things around me have been warped by whatever that was. The scene of the monitors, the students around me. I blink and rub my eyes, but I soon realize that my eyes aren't playing tricks on me.
What the... Are these students an illusion someone is creating?
With their skins missing, the students have become dark shapes that only resemble a human form. Are these shadows of some sort? Well, I do find it hard to believe that so many people could have wandered into the TV world. Even if this many people did get in here, the town would be in an uproar over the mass disappearance of so many students. It makes more sense for them to be shadows, but if that's the case, why did I see them as students? Could it be? Teddy and Rise do both have the powers to interfere with other people's thoughts to a certain extent. It may be possible for them to be projecting illusions into my mind. That would prove that the two of them really are hosts of this show. I decide not to jump to any conclusions for now. Even if the two of them are behind this, why would they hold a tournament and deceive me? I won't be able to figure out anything until I determine what their objective is. And I'm considering the next course of action. Teddy, or should I say, General Teddy, speaks directly to me.
What are you all fidgety for now, Chan? you need to powder your nose?
Yes, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna drink some water too.
No! Anyway, if this is not a joke, can I assume you won't easily let me go?
Bingo! You have to win the fight if you want to move on. Only the one who makes it to the very end is set free.
Why is the music playing more loudly now? This is getting me nowhere. Talking to him isn't helping me figure out what's going on here.
Well then, let's get this started. Bring out the first opponent!
Another spotlight appears across from me. A person steps out of the darkness. It's
been a while, Naoto.
ooh.
Senpai? Why are you here?
I promised I'd come back during Golden Week. Don't tell me you forgot.
No? Of course I remembered. It's just, I didn't expect to see you here.
I could say the same thing. I heard you couldn't make it because of your job.
Yes. Actually, I'm here on matters related to my work. It came as a surprise to me as well.
Huh. Looks like you're as uninterested in socializing as always.
Huh? What did he just say?
Everyone says that though they think of you as a friend, they never get the same vibe from you.
That's not true. I just happen to be busy with a case. But really, now's not...
Work, work, work. I guess work's all you care about in the end.
Work.
Even now. I'd say you're more concerned with your work than us. I get it. Hanging out with people outside work is a burden for you. It's like an invasion of your privacy.
Senpai?
He's not the type of person to speak so poorly of others, is he? Is this an illusion too?
Relax. I'll help get you knocked out of the tournament so you can get back to the work you love so much.
He summoned his persona.
What? Are you serious?
Senpai attacked me with his persona. That wasn't an illusion. It was real. If he'd hit me, I would have been seriously hurt. But now I know something. He's clearly not in his right mind right now. The leader of the investigation team I knew would never, under any circumstance, harm his friends.
What a reunion this is turning into. If I must fight you, I will.
Alright, finally. Oh my god, after an hour of dialogue, we finally get a fight. Let's do this. Very much needed exposition, though, for that. Hopefully, I haven't just forgotten everything that I learned from Naoto. I'll try to keep this simple for now. Ground gameplay. Okay, good hit.
Okay. There.
Sniping!
There.
You're up. There you are.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now you cross the line.
There.
Time to end it?
Showtime!
There we go. Gotcha in my sights.
Farewell.
It's over.
Perhaps I took it too far.
Insta kill. He's dead. Alright, damn, okay. You hit me hard. My shoulders heave as I gasp for breath. I managed to win, but Senpai was as strong as ever.
Naoto, are you okay?
Yes.
Senpai stands up and offers me his hand as I sit on the ground. Despite the fact that he was hurt worse than I was, the look in his eyes showed that he is seriously worried about me. He's a completely different person than the person I just saw before the battle. Yes, this is the person I know. Many persons.
Thank goodness.
Huh?
I mean, are you all right too, Senpai? I'm sorry for hurting you, even though the circumstances demanded it.
Oh, everything's fine here. You're back to the usual Naoto, I see.
The usual?
What's that supposed to mean? I wonder about the use of his words usual, but there are more important matters at hand.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
Senpai tells me about what had happened at Inaba when I was gone. I'm at a loss for words. Midnight Channel started to air again. The video that I saw was a promotional video for something called the P1 Grand Prix. Apparently it had been shown a few times before I just saw it. Wait, that video. It was showing all over town? No, now's not the time to let that sort of thing discourage me. According to you, Senpai, not only did the Midnight Channel make a comeback, but several of us, Kanji-kun, Teddy, and Rise-san have gone missing. Senpai and the others entered the TV at Junes to investigate this.
I was shocked to see it looking completely different than before.
Indeed. But it seems, at least in part, to be an illusion.
Really?
In fact, the students gathered to watch our battle were not real.
Oh, yeah. They did seem like shadows, but different somehow. I didn't get the sense that they were hostile, though.
I thought that Rise-san and Teddy might have been illusions too, but both have gone missing. And given their persona abilities...
I cut myself off. Senpai shakes his head in response.
It's possible that that really was them. But we should have faith. If our enemy can use illusions, they might be victims as well.
You're right. I can at least have more faith in my friends than that.
I raised my head to look at Senpai, who was watching me. Our eyes meet and I hurriedly look away.
Speaking of which, why are you here, Naoto?
That's...
There's the question. Well, it's only natural. I'm here on business, not anything personal. I can't disclose the details of my investigation. Not only are there rules, but if I spoke up, I would end up getting him involved. I have to avoid that at all costs. As I'm deciding what to say...
Hey, you know, forget I asked. I'm just happy to see you again.
Me too. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the matter now?
I mean, well, about me being unsociable. Please understand that it's not because my work is more important than my friends.
Huh? I've never thought that about you at all. I don't think any of us have.
Senpai.
Alrighty, time to break up your little chat.
Yeah, move on, Naoto.
Teddy?
He lost. Don't talk to
John
losers.
wins. Very impressive beating up the almighty sensei. But now it's time for you to go on. Your next opponent's already waiting.
When his speech is over, the monitor shuts off. Next opponent, huh? I'd rather not continue this charade, but I have to push forward in order to get a hold of the situation.
Well then, we should get going.
Yu-senpai nods reassuringly. I feel a sense of relief welling up within me. I can't let my guard down, but knowing that senpai is with me to help me face whatever lies ahead, I know I have nothing to fear. Or so I thought. Senpai is walking next to me when he suddenly stops.
What the? An invisible wall? What is this? And how come you can pass through?
A wall? There's nothing here. I wave my hand through the place where senpai said he couldn't pass through, but I don't feel anything. The senpai doesn't look like he's faking it. The monitor turns on again. Teddy's face fills the screen.
Did I forget to tell you? Only the winner can move on to the next fight. No one's getting out of this school until a champion's been crowned. Only the one who fights to the very end and comes out on top can leave.
So neither opponent can leave the area unless they fight each other. You go on ahead, Naoto. I'll try and find a way to catch up.
Very well. Be careful, senpai.
I will. See you later.
I am hesitant to leave senpai behind, but it can't be helped. I'd like to try to destroy the wall, but there's nothing I can do if I can't touch it. With senpai smiling at me, I decide to go on ahead. Looks like no matter what, no matter how many people I fight, I'll have to progress by myself. And so we progress. Please let Naoto fight Akihiko. After some time walking, I run smack into something even though there's nothing there. I didn't understand what was going on at first, but I soon come to realize something. So this is one of those invisible walls Senpai was talking about. It seems that some of them won't allow anyone to pass no matter who wins the fight. It's completely transparent. The only way to know that it's there is to feel its glass-like smoothness. I have no choice but to take a detour. But time after time, these walls keep getting in my way. I'm not choosing my path, I'm being herded. I suppose I'm following some plan laid out here by whoever set this up. After I opened the door to the gym, I saw a space cleared away for that. As I expected, General Teddy appears on the monitor.
You're so slow now, Chan. Your second opponent's been waiting for you.
I've said it before, but I don't intend to fight my friends.
Alrighty, let's do this. Bring out the next opponent.
Which is now why...
Yo, how's it
okay.
hanging now, doll?
Now, doll, okay. Also, Kanji, do you look different? I think he lost the nose piercing, that's why.
Kanji-kun?
Or maybe just from this angle. Well, he certainly looks like Kanji-kun, but it only looks that way.
Yeah, I've been thinking. The way you talk is so lame.
Huh?
I thought I was already ready to face anyone, but this isn't a matter of being in the right mind or not. Is this an illusion? Oh, please let this one be an illusion.
It's like way too uptight and goody-goody. Makes you sound so distant, you dig?
Goody goody.
Is that so?
See, that's what I'm talking about. You could have just said, oh, you think so?
You think so?
Ah, now you're getting it. Now I feel like I'm on your wavelength.
Thanks. Then again, relatability aside, I feel like you were miles away from me to begin with.
Hey, you're doing it again. What's with the Miss Manners act?
I'm sorry. It's a habit of mine.
Or maybe it's that you don't care about getting close to us, huh? You don't feel like you gotta bother getting to know us and stuff?
Of course I don't think... Hell no, man.
You never warm up to anyone because you set your standards so goddamn high.
Oh dear, he's shown his true self.
Is it, you know what? Are you putting on a show of not letting anyone near you because you got no confidence in yourself? Is that it?
Why'd she say that part in parenthesis?
Kanji-kun.
That may be false accusations, but some of those statements are hitting home. I can't brush off these words and my heart aches.
Why are you so nervous? Your height? Your body? That girly voice? And let me give you a little lesson in manliness. I hope you're ready for the pain of me.
Hell yeah, this is insanity.
Wait a second. I didn't say any.
Oh, too late. Kanji's already going in for the kill. That's why Kanji had the best story too. He just beat everyone the fuck up. It didn't matter. It's a dream. I kill everybody. Alright, Kanji is slow, so this actually might be a good matchup for me. I'm gonna start off with my bullets. I'll do this.
I was hit. You're there. You are.
Okay.
Okay.
Here I go. There. No way. I'm going in.
Can I do this?
There you are.
Okay. Okay.
I'll try this.
Sorry, but ready? Do it. I was hit. Assault all around this. Here I go. Down. This'll hurt. Okay. There.
The hell?
Will it all be over?
Initiate. Come on.
Damn, he blocked that?
Okay.
In the end, the victor was no surprise.
Oh, and my headphones are dying. Why are they dying? Oh, right. Before I started recording this, I was playing the new Zenless Zone Zero patch. That's why. Oh god, Josh.
Kanji-kun, are you alright?
I'm alright, because my headphones are charging.
Of course I am. Your attacks are like little bug bites. I just let my guard down, that's all.
I don't know if he's acting tough or trying to be courteous to me, but at least he's coming to the usual, back to the usual Kanji-kun. The usual Kanji-kun. Usual? Wait, did you senpai say that too? Well, at the very least, it seems like the spell is broken once the battle ends. I let out a sigh of relief. Still, for some reason, Kanji-kun has yet to look this way.
Are you really okay? I was told that the others lost contact with you, so how did you come to be here?
How? Well, it was a change of pace?
You came into the TV for a change of pace? Did something happen? I'm willing to listen if you'd like to talk about it.
Something to talk about. I mean, wait, not that I don't want to talk to you. But like, it's not that I do want to talk or that I don't want to. Anyways, there's just sometimes a man wants to go inside a TV by himself.
Yeah, come on, Naoto, alright? Like, you understand?
I'm not sure I follow.
Off my back, will you? I didn't come in here because I like it. Actually, no. That is why I came. Because I like this place.
When Kanji turns around, his face is red, but with anger or something else.
I just don't understand why you're being so loud about it and blushing so fiercely.
I wasn't blushing. Besides, it was all your fault. You're the one that was, well, being all, you know.
Me? What are you talking about?
You want me to come out and say it? Jeez. I thought you'd gone crazy because of that.
Me? Crazy? You were the one who was acting oddly, calling me Naoto and whatnot.
Naoto? Why would I call you that?
Wait a second. Acting strangely.
I saw Kanji-kun as if he's gone mad, but he saw me all the same. And yet both of us claimed that we hadn't gone crazy. I get it now. That's why you senpai called me the usual Naoto.
Of course. An illusion.
Huh?
I believe we were both under the illusion that the other had lost their mind.
No way.
That's why neither of us remembers saying what the other heard.
Illusions, huh?
It must be a scheme to make friends fight each other. But if that's the case...
It's not as simple as the person I have to fight being crazy. You senpai and Kanji both said things that dig deep into my personal problems. These are illusions, then whoever's creating them has to be someone who knows us.
The ability to interfere with other senses, the prior knowledge of us, putting it all together, it must be...
Eddie.
Must be what?
The Teddy acting as the tournament's host, as well as Rise-san. Must be genuine.
You moron, there's no way it's them.
I look up at Kanji-kun in surprise.
That Ted and Rise are fakes. Come on. They're not twisted like that. You of all people ought to know.
He doesn't have any proof, but his unshakable trust in us sets me at ease. Even if I told him that Rise and Teddy are both missing, I'm sure his answer wouldn't change.
Who else then?
Well, you know, there is someone here besides us. I saw her on my way here. Some girl with long hair.
A girl? Did she happen to be wearing a white fur shawl and combat gear beneath it?
Fur? What are you talking about? She had on a normal Yaso girl's uniform and her hair was like tied back.
A female student with tied back hair? I don't recall anyone like that.
I thought he might have run into Kirijo-san, but that doesn't appear to have been the case. Is that girl Kanji-kun talking about a suspect? I can't tell for sure.
I'll keep it in mind. Well, I should be moving on.
Hold on, I'll come with... Wait, what the hell?
The invisible walls again. Just like last time, I can't touch it myself.
The rules seem to dictate that only the victor can proceed. I'll come for you later.
Don't bother. I'll figure this out myself somehow. That aside, you beat me. You better make sure you're the champion in the end.
That's completely irrelevant to the larger objective.
I leave Kanji-kun behind and push on ahead. All their interactions are always so funny and awkward. So who next? Do we get to meet Labrys? We're being shown illusions that portray our opponents as having lost their senses. But why is the host of this tournament going to such elaborate lengths? Obviously it's to get people who know each other to fight, but is that the only goal? Still, I wonder how I appeared to Senpai and Kanji-kun. I'm not that worried about Senpai, but thinking about Kanji-kun's reaction, how he had blushed, is burning a hole in my stomach. As I walk down the hall, I come to another likely location for a match. Just as I figured, Teddy appears on a screen.
Your next opponent is a special guest. We've got a lady jumping in on the fun. It'll be a big emotional reunion for you now, Chan.
Oh wow, I get to fight Mitsuru now.
Could it be?
Bring out the next opponent!
Kirijo-san.
Shirogane, why are you here? I thought you were...
This is a problem. I didn't think we'd run into each other so soon.
The purpose of this event is to have the participants fight, and because there's only one path to take, I figured we would run into each other sooner or later. Whoops. Just got a text message, my bad. Never imagined that it would be this early on, though. Now, there's something else I need to be concerned with. Like the previous times, the opponents will not be seeing each other correctly. Okay. With that in mind, I watch her closely, and as expected, I see a change in her. Mitsuru Kirijo's face twists into an expression of contempt and her composure shatters.
To say I'm surprised to see you here would be an understatement.
I don't reply. There's no point in saying anything after all.
Huh. The silent treatment. How ridiculous that you, who lives a lie, would dig up other people's hidden secrets for a living. You seem gentle, but you maintain an aloof distance that keeps people at arm's length. At first, I thought it must be typical of a detective, but that doesn't seem to be the case. You simply lack confidence in yourself.
I have some trouble staying silent.
You hide your true nature because you know that once you grow close to someone, you'll no longer be able to protect your pride. That's why you won't let anyone in. You use your job as a pretext to keep your distance and never get too attached. And it's from that position that you're trying to discover what others are hiding? How contradictory. Not to mention completely ridiculous and unfair.
I clench my fist in spite of myself.
Persona.
Damn, I like it. She's just like, I know what must be done. Her relentless words, even if it's only an illusion, I begin to feel that if I lose, I'll never be able to look her in the eye again. I cannot lose here.
I'd dearly like to answer your charges, but I see no need. There is no reason to defend myself against the accusations of an illusion.
Let's do this. Oh god. Mitsuru might be a terrible matchup. She has a lot of range. Let's see. I could start off with a jump kick. Yeah, that might be good.
Final.
Alright. Damn. How do I get out of the stance?
Okay. I'll be sorry. Please. I'm a well struck. Now you're wrong. You're slow. Initiate. Come on. I'm a hit. There. Sorry, but
Will they go for the kill?
Go.
Will it all be
Please.
over in moments?
Here I go.
Oh shit, I almost lost. God damn.
The difference was a deciding factor.
I was trying to get off some moves, but I couldn't. I think Naoto doesn't do as much damage as the other characters, that's why.
You're stronger than you look. It seems you're a skilled fighter.
Nah, I almost lost for the first time.
And a persona user as well, huh?
With that, Kirijo-san stands up.
I'd like to clear something up. Before our battle, I may have said or done some things that seemed disrespectful, but
I understand. We were shown illusions to goad us into fighting each other.
so you already knew. You are a credit to the Shirogane name, then. In that case, well, I'm willing to forget all the things you said about my body.
Whoa, damn. Wait, what? Her body? What did the illusionary me say?
Though, if you're a persona user, that gives weight to two of my theories.
Kirijo-san looks straight at me.
One is that you were one of those who solved last year's serial murders. The few proud anonymous heroes.
I shrug, and then I brace myself for the other shoe to drop. I know that what she's about to say.
The other is that you were one of my enemies. You were an observer at the hijacking, which means a persona user was sent specifically. Yet you hid that from me. Somehow I doubt you were there just to watch over the cargo. If my suspicions aren't off base, then there's something I must say.
In all honesty, I feels like I have no defense for whatever is going to happen next. I begin trying to find a way to make it through this conversation without ruining whatever goodwill I may still have with her. But Kirijo-san's next words take me completely by surprise.
Shirogane, can I ask for your cooperation once again?
What?
You know more about this world than I do, and since I lost our match, I will be unable to move on from here.
Wait a moment. I thought you distrusted me.
Even if I did, is continuing to oppose each other the wisest course of action?
I have no words. I almost lost that battle too. Kirijo-san smiles as she watches me. Her proposal completely surprised me. My surprise must have confirmed what she was thinking about me. She knew that I'm not the type of person who would become her enemy under normal circumstances. That is why she smiled. I am no match for her. She's on a completely different level than I am. It's not a matter of social rank, she simply has the type of personality that makes people want to follow her. Kirijo-san doesn't wait for me to answer and continues.
As you have guessed, we are here in pursuit of the stolen cargo. Upon investigation, we figured out that it contained the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. She was a machine, developed as one of a series of test models. They were intended to receive personas in order to combat shadows.
Isn't a persona the manifestation of one's strength of heart? How could a machine be capable of using a persona?
You're right to ask that. Labrys has a mind of her own. We don't know what she looks like, but it's probably very close to human.
A humanoid machine. I did see something fitting that description before I came through the TV world. That was a weapon developed by the Kirijo group, a humanoid robot with a heart at that. This is the fruits of Kirijo's technology created from the research of shadows. Can't help but be surprised. However, if the culprits were specifically after this Labrys weapon, there's a high probability that it has been removed from its case and is mobile. But I can't fathom how that would benefit the thieves. There is one thing I can deduce though.
Around the time of the robbery, we began to see activity in this world as well. I doubt this is a coincidence. I feel sure that your Labrys is connected to this ridiculous tournament.
I agree.
Before I know what I'm doing, I reach out to shake hands with Kirijo-san.
I accept your earlier proposal. And I think I'd best hurry.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Your friends must be facing their own troubles. It's possible that they've met Labrys without knowing it too.
They'll be all right, I'm sure.
The record showed that Labrys had some unknown experimental equipment. We don't know what she's capable of. Don't take her lightly.
Oh, no. That isn't what I meant. She has a heart, yes? Then fighting her isn't our only option. She can be saved. I'm sure the others will reach the same conclusion.
I see.
When I say that, I can see a smile on her face. I can tell she believes in her friends as well.
Oh, yes, I meant to ask. Have you been able to contact your friends?
No, unfortunately, there's no cell coverage here. I shake my head.
No. 2 of them have analysis-capable personas, but both of them have gone missing.
I actually have a few powers in that area myself. Can you tell me what these friends of yours look like?
Oh yeah, she does. That's true. I completely forgot. Until Fuka came along. I give her as detailed descriptions of Rise and Teddy as I can.
Huh. A bear costume and a girl. Are they...
Yes. They're the ones acting as hosts for this tournament. But they're not usually like this.
I see. Well, anyway, knowing that will make searching for them easier. Let me see.
Kirijo-san focuses and closes her eyes. Her powers must allow her to see an image as she searches. Her persona is Google. Maybe only a few powers, but it's still quite amazing.
I'm getting a match some ways from here. It's not moving either. Aha! I found her. Can you hear me?
Huh? Who is this?
Drinking water. That voice.
My name is Mitsuru Kirijo. I'm with one of your friends, Shirogane.
Kirijo looks at me and nods. She's communicating to me so that Rise can hear my voice as well.
Rise-san!
Naoto-kun, is it really you?
Yes, though I could ask the same of you, Rise-san.
I'm so glad. This weird fake Teddy kidnapped me and then everyone was fighting each other and...
So Rise's voice on the PA system was a fake. If that's the case, then there's no reason to believe that the images on Teddy on the monitors is the real thing either.
It's all right. Please calm down. Do you know where you are right now?
It looks like an announcement room, but there are these invisible walls stopping me from leaving. Plus, the fake Teddy is watching me, so I can't use my persona.
I don't know who that fake Teddy is, but it seems that Rise and the real Teddy were kidnapped to deprive us of a means of communication. In other words, to keep us fooled while we were in this world. Then again, that explains nothing about whatever objective could be gained by doing this to us. How does Labrys' existence tie into this?
Oh, right. Thanks. Kirijo-san, right? Wait, Kirijo? I know that name. That's not important now. Are you a persona user too?
Yes, but we can discuss that later. I sense a shadow-like presence very close to your position. Are you all right?
The only thing near here is the fake Teddy. Wait, is that what you're talking about?
So it's a shadow.
I was hesitant to make a decision. Kirijo does not know Teddy. Of course, she wouldn't know his origins. Even if the general was the real Teddy, she probably wouldn't think of him as a shadow if she didn't know better. But if the general is merely something else that's taking on his appearance, it leads to a completely different conclusion. That is a shadow from a normal human who doesn't have any tolerance for this world. If that's the case, then why is the shadow mimicking Teddy? I don't have enough pieces to begin solving this puzzle yet. While I'm in the process of thinking things through, Kirijo-san speaks up.
Shirogane, you need to hurry on. I'll try to maintain communication as best I can and keep you in the loop.
All right then, I'm off. Stay safe.
I nod back to her and start running. Onward. To the announcement room where Rise is being held. Alright. This ain't the PA room, this is a classroom. As I hurry on led by the invisible walls, I reach a classroom. I'll be forced into another fight here too, no doubt.
Looks like you're chugging right along. And now another special guest for you.
No, Teddy, stop. I'm not good at Naoto fights.
The gloves may be off putting you up against this one, so I want to see your best moves out there, Nachan. Now, bring out the next opponent!
I guess. Akihiko, I see a silhouette framed in the spotlight. It's... well, how could I forget that attire?
You're Akihiko Sanada, as I recall.
Interesting. I've been gone for a while, and here I meet a stranger who knows who I am.
You're a member of Mitsuru Kirijo's organization. Her friend, actually, no?
Oh, I see. So it's really Mitsuru you're interested in, ace detective.
His words caused me to tense up. He just called me Ace Detective. Perhaps that was just a guess from my family name, Shirogane. But he could know that I'm spying on them for the police. I carefully search his eyes for anything that might tell me how he knows. He looks over me from head to toe and immediately sneers mockingly.
Jeez, look at you. You have the physique of a 12-year-old.
What?
A detective needs a strong body more than a strong brain. All-night research sessions, long stakeouts. You need stamina for that.
Yeah, you need lots of protein.
But look at those twiggy arms and legs of yours. You've got an overdeveloped chest, but from the looks of it, I'd say it's all fat and no muscle. Seriously.
Damn, true.
What?
What is wrong with them? That's the part of my self-image I'm most sensitive about.
Let me teach you the secret to bodybuilding. First thing, protein. Second thing, protein. Third, fourth, and fifth, more protein.
True.
Don't you think that's rather unbalanced?
Sanada flexes his muscles like a bodybuilder.
And finally, you gotta spar. 1, 2, ha!
He said sparring, but that punch was meant to do serious damage. This is absurd. However, putting this unhinged talk aside, his skill as a fighter isn't something I should take lightly. Shoot, I can't dodge them all.
Stop it, Akihiko!
Mitsuru?
Sanada stops suddenly as a familiar voice echoes throughout the room.
You're under the effects of an illusion. Shirogane has done nothing. Do not attack.
What's that? Attack?
What do you mean? He's the one who attacked me all of a sudden.
I attacked.
Suddenly I remembered, did he just call Naoto a he? That's right, this is all an illusion. I never met Sanada before, so I don't know what his usual self is supposed to be. On top of that, I allowed the first thing he said to get under my skin. How stupid of me, I let myself get swept up in this situation and failed to realize what was really happening.
From my perspective, it was you who dealt the first blow.
Yeah, to my
We were
ego.
both being shown an illusion to make us fight each other.
Shirogane is an excellent detective and a persona user. I told him everything. He's agreed to cooperate with us.
Wait. They said, he's agreed to cooperate with us. They actually think that I'm a guy.
He was originally on the scene as a police observer in this case, so we've already met.
Uh-huh. Kirijo and I explained what had happening up until now. It's a relief to learn that despite his appearance, he's actually a reasonable man. And quick to pick up on things.
That noise-like phenomenon that fogs your senses is already gone. You should be able to communicate normally now.
We introduce ourselves and shake hands.
Looks like I fell for a cheap trick.
Yeah, but we still gotta fight each other.
I'm sorry for forgetting myself, too. I can't even claim to have been unaware of the deception.
So you're a persona user, huh? Well, since fate already brought us together, want to test your skills before you move on?
Sanada slams his fists together.
Akihiko, you're doing it again. Just cooperate with him.
All right. Come on, Naoto, let's go.
Oh, wait, the tournament rules say...
Sanada walks away. So I figured he hit the
Are
wall.
you alright?
What's the matter? What happened?
I don't know. There's some kind of invisible wall here.
The rules dictate that only the winner of each match can advance. So,
He was flustered mere seconds ago, but now Sanada has taken on a more lively expression.
So we need to have a match, even though we've got nothing against each other. We're fighting after all then, huh? All right then, come at me.
please go easy on me.
I could almost hear Kirijo-san sigh in exasperation. Ah, shit. I might actually lose here. I feel like I'm not really good at playing with Naoto. She's got too many mechanics. Get it done. 1991, wow, I think he must be the oldest member. Alright, come on, come at me so I can hit you with this. Okay.
There.
He has fucking tiger draw.
There. Okay.
Okay, I see.
Do it.
All right, and now I do this.
Initiate. Go down. What? Stay down. There.
Gotcha.
Go. Stay down.
I was trying to pull off the jump back, but it wouldn't proc it. Really sensitive, the timing. Thank God the actual
That
fights.
was a great bout. You're good.
Thank God the actual fights don't showcase my button inputs because, oh God, it would look super embarrassing the amount of failed attempts I'm trying to do with on the D-pad.
About?
What an annoying rule.
Huh? Wait a second. That reminds me. I saw that guy calling himself General walking with a girl. If only one person can move on, that's against the rules.
The fake Teddy and Rise were together all this time. And could the girl he's talking about be Rise?
Do
No.
you remember the details of what this girl looked like?
Sanada tells me about the girl he's seen. What he says matches the description of the unknown girl Kanji had talked about, which means that there's a high probability that the person seen walking with her was not the general but the real Teddy. At the very least, this is evidence against the argument that Teddy is the general. This creates another theory though. If the general is not really Teddy, then he's someone else's shadow. There's only one person that fits the bill. Well, not person per se, but
If that girl was Labrys, then, well, is it possible we're dealing with her shadow?
that's right, Labrys. If she has a heart capable of using a persona, then it stands to reason that she could create a shadow. In light of how the events of last year played out, it makes perfect sense. She was kidnapped by someone who threw her into the TV world, creating a reflection of her heart.
None of the data I have shows any connection between Labrys and Yasagami High. On top of which, I don't see how she'd know about you or your friends.
That's impossible though, she's student council president. I had been having doubts about that as well, but at least I have a feel of what's going on. What Labrys' kidnappers hope to gain from this remains unknown, however. At any rate, I wouldn't be good if the shadows were to run into its owner. Either way, it's best if I head to the announcement room. It's much more logical to restrain the false Teddy since I know his location than it would be to have to search for Labrys somewhere in this world. Still, if that really is Teddy with Labrys, why are they traveling together?
Sheesh, what's that Teddy doing? I'm sorry I can't help much, Kirijo-san.
You'll have to forgive me for my meager skills as well. My persona's communication powers are more for operational assistance.
Look at Rise and Mitsuru here having a flippin' Discord call in my brain.
A friend of mine from school was much stronger than myself in that respect, but...
Oh, Fuka.
Oh no, it's all that stupid bear's fault anyway. He's a real genius for making people worry.
Man, it's strange running into so many Persona users I've never heard of all at once. I gotta say, brings back memories.
For us, too. We were as surprised as you. Not to say that the possibility of other Persona users hadn't crossed our minds, but to actually meet them.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is the first time that worlds collide.
What you said about a friend from school kinda reminds me of us, too. What was school like for you? I'd like to hear about it.
Guys, we, need to find General Teddy.
Well, ignoring Akihiko's current appearance, he was a boxing champion in his student days.
Don't worry, Akihiko is just cosplaying the Scarlet Rot duelist from Elden Ring.
Hey, that dig was uncalled for.
After that, I don't know what went through his brain, but he started saying he wanted to search for stronger opponents.
He went on a journey to hone his skills? I thought that only happened in comics and old samurai films.
I thought I had to do it, so I did it. That's all.
Based Akihiko. The peaceful moment was shattered by Kirijo-san's voice.
Wait, what's this I'm sensing? It's like a shadow, but bigger.
Another shadow presence, and it isn't the false Teddy.
Huh? What's going on? that fake Teddy left the announcement room.
Rise made a report immediately after that. Sanada and I look at each other. It seems like the situation is changing. Sanada nods to me, and after taking a small bow, I run off. It's hard saying Sanada fast. With no one watching over her anymore, Rise was able to summon her persona. The job of providing support moved from Kirijo-san, who not all of us know, to Rise. Rise contacted the rest of us and let us talk to each other for a moment.
Rise-chan? Oh, thank God you're safe!
Don't worry, the others are here too. We'll rescue you in no time.
Wait, why is Naoto here?
Yeah, why is Naoto here? I can't help but smile at this as I tell them about the others I have seen so far. Seems we're all safe for now. Now that we can communicate, we've greatly increased our awareness of the situation and our ability to share info. The general must have known that leaving Rise alone would result in this. He didn't know, but left her anyways. There must have been something major happening. Either that or he no longer has any reason to hide. I hurry on while we share what we know. The actual design of this place may differ from the real Yasogami, but the general layout appears to be the same. If I climb the stairs and turn the corner, the PA room should be right there. However, Rise calls out a warning before I can get there.
Bad news, Naoto-kun! The fake Teddy's back!
I'm too late.
Huh? What the? Is that the real Teddy? Hey, the real Teddy's here too! He's got some girl with him. I don't know her.
The fact that Rise's communication didn't get cut off once General Teddy reappeared is somewhat worrisome. Then again, General Teddy doesn't have the time to bother watching Rise. After all, if the real Teddy and Labrys are both right there, he has important things to be concerned with. This confirms that General Teddy is a fake. It's only natural then to assume that he is Labrys' shadow in disguise. That makes things dangerous. Labrys and her shadow are confronting each other. Rise should know that the dangers of the situation, but she doesn't know Labrys. She may not realize what the relationship between the girl and the shadow is. I have to warn her. But before I can speak, it happened.
No way. What's with that girl?
The static gets worse.
Rise-san? Rise-san!
Why can't I communicate with her when we're so close? Something happening in the announcement room. I run as fast as I can towards it. As I reach the door, I hear a scream from inside. Freeze, Interpol. I slammed the door open without a second thought and prepared for a fight. The attack came from an unexpected assailant. Or anyone in that room. I wouldn't have thought it'd be... Who? Adachi? Imagine if it was this Adachi pops up. Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. He's fucking Nishtani from Gaiden or something. Alright, but that concludes all of the Persona 4 cast members. I think the only cast members that don't have an actual story is Rise. Yeah, just Rise actually, come to think of it. Unless one of these two is Rise, which I think one of them might be later. And the last one will probably be either Junpei or Yukari, I'm guessing, because they left them out. Or maybe, who knows, they might surprise me. Maybe it's Ken. Could be Ken as well. Or Kodomaru, that'd be hilarious. But next time I will do my best. Well, you know, it's one character per. But we're almost there at the end. We're almost at the end of this little segment. Finish off Mitsuru, Akihiko, and then Aigis. And then probably unlock these two. If not, we will switch to episode P4 and continue the story from there. I think what I might do in my own time is also rewatch these first 3 episodes just so I kind of get an idea as to what the fuck I just saw, because a lot of info has been passed to at this time, but we're finding more with every episode. I think Kanji's is still my favorite just because he just single-handedly solves the case in his gag ending, so that was hilarious. But I'm glad we're finding more about the plane hijacking now, so next 3 episodes will all be about Cease's side of the story.